We are raised on a mythology of love. We have been taught through 1,000 different movies, songs, and stories to believe in the decisive moment. It is the cinematic thunderclap event. It is the moment he looks at you from across a crowded room and the world goes into slow motion. It is the dramatic rain-soaked confession where he finally declares that he has known from the very beginning that you were the one. It is a moment of grand, undeniable, and earth-shattering clarity. And so we wait for it, and more than that, we perform for it. We live our romantic lives in a state of constant, low-grade audition, hoping to create a scene so perfect, a moment so charming, a connection so exciting that we will finally trigger this decisive moment in him. We become the actresses in a movie that we are desperately hoping he is directing. But what if I told you that this is a beautiful lie? What if the real moment a man's soul unconsciously decides you are the one is not loud, but quiet? Not a thunderclap of passion, but a slow, deep, unconscious breath of peace. What if it is a moment so subtle, so unspectacular, that you probably didn't even notice it happened? This is the secret that this video will reveal. The title is a promise, and it is a warning. The moment a man unconsciously decides you are the one, it's not what you think. We will pull back the curtain on this profound psychological event. We will deconstruct the myth of the exciting spark and replace it with the deep biological truth of the sacred settling. Drawing on the wisdom of Carl Jung and the science of the human nervous system, we will decode the one quiet and almost invisible moment that truly takes a woman from being an option he is exploring to being the destination his soul has recognized as home. This is not a lesson in how to create a more spectacular performance. It is a guide to understanding the most powerful and honest conversation of all, the one that happens in silence. To find the true moment of decision, we must first have the courage to dismantle the false one. The great and misleading myth that we have all been taught is that the moment a man decides you are the one is a moment of peak excitement. We chase this feeling relentlessly. We search for the thrilling chemistry, the heart-pounding passion, the exhilarating adventure. We measure the potential of a connection by the intensity of its dopamine hits. The perfect first date where the conversation is a firework display of wit and charm. The incredible sexual chemistry that feels like a lightning strike. The thrilling vacation where every moment feels like a scene from a movie. We collect these moments of excitement like precious jewels, believing they are the evidence of a great love. And we believe that the man, in the midst of one of these spectacular moments, will have his great epiphany. But this is a profound misunderstanding of the male psyche. These moments of excitement are real, they are beautiful, and they are absolutely essential for initial attraction. But they are not the moments of decision, they are the waves, not the ocean. Think of it. Waves are a magnificent spectacle. They are thrilling to watch, to ride, to be in the presence of. They are the energy, the passion, the visible and exciting part of the sea. But the waves are a surface-level phenomenon. They are temporary, and they are created by an external force, the wind of novelty, of the chase, of newness. A man may love to ride the waves with you, but he knows on a soul level that he cannot build a home there. The ocean itself is different. The deep, vast, and quiet expanse of the ocean is where the true power, the true mystery, and the true life reside. The ocean is not an event, it is a state of being. It is calm, it is deep, and it is constant. The moments of excitement are the dopamine of the relationship. They are the chase. And a man in his masculine essence loves the chase. But the chase is a hunt for a prize. It is not the act of cherishing the prize once it has been won. The moment of decision, the moment he unconsciously decides you are the one, is not a moment of dopamine. It is a moment of oxytocin. It is not a moment of thrilling pursuit. It is a moment of profound and soul-deep peace. So the first surprising truth is this: you must stop looking for the answer in the fireworks. You must stop believing that the intensity of his passion is a measure of the depth of his devotion. A man can feel intense passion for many women, but the woman he decides he cannot live without is not the one who provides the most thrilling waves. She is the one who, for the first time, makes him feel the profound, beautiful, and healing stillness of the deep ocean itself. The decision is not made in the storm of excitement, but in the profound and sacred calm that follows. So if the decisive moment is not one of peak excitement, then what is it? What does this quiet, profound, and often unnoticed moment actually look like? The surprising truth is this: the moment a man unconsciously decides you are the one is the moment his nervous system for the very first time experiences your presence not as an adventure, but as a sanctuary. This is not a romantic metaphor. It is a profound biological event. To understand it, we must once again visit the wisdom of our own nervous system, as explained by Polyvagal theory. As we have learned, a man in the modern world spends most of his waking life on a battlefield. His sympathetic nervous system is activated. He is in a state of fight or flight, competing, striving, performing, problem-solving. It is a state of high alert, of tension. When he is not on the battlefield, he may collapse into a state of shutdown, of numbness, the dorsal vagal state. This is the energy of scrolling numbly through his phone, of watching television without really seeing it. It is a state of disconnection. But there is a third state, a sacred state. It is the ventral vagal state of rest and connect. This is the state of profound safety, of peace, of social engagement. It is the biological signature of a sanctuary. For most of a man's life, he is oscillating between the battlefield and the shutdown. What he is unconsciously and desperately searching for is a third place, a sanctuary, and then he meets you. On the first few dates, he may be in performance mode. On a smaller, more charming battlefield of courtship, he is trying to win you. His sympathetic system is still activated. But as he spends more time in your presence, if you are a woman who has cultivated your own inner peace, his nervous system begins to sense something new. It senses a coherence, a calm, a safety in your energetic field. And then, the moment happens. It is often a moment of profound ordinariness. Perhaps you are driving in the car, and a comfortable silence falls between you. Perhaps you are simply sitting on the couch, reading your own books in the same room. And in that quiet, undramatic moment, his nervous system, feeling the undeniable safety of your presence, finally lets go. It down-regulates, it shifts, fully and completely, out of the high-alert state of the battlefield and into the deep, restorative, and profoundly peaceful ventral vagal state of sanctuary. He may not even consciously be aware of it, but he will feel it. It is a wave of peace, a release of a tension he didn't even know he was holding, an unconscious, full-body exhale. This is the moment of decision. It is the moment his soul, his biology, his deepest and most honest self recognizes, here, this is it. This is the place where I can finally put down my sword. This is the place where my soul can rest. He is not deciding that you are the most exciting woman he has ever met. He is deciding that you are the safest. He is not deciding that you are the best adventure. He is deciding that you are home. This is not a decision made by his logical mind. It is a verdict rendered by his nervous system. It is a truth that is felt in his very cells. And once his soul has identified you as its sanctuary, the entire dynamic of the connection changes. The chase may be over, but the journey of devotion has just begun. The biological reality of his nervous system finding a sanctuary in your presence is a profound and undeniable truth. But to fully grasp the earth-shattering significance of this moment, to understand why this specific feeling is the secret tipping point for his soul's commitment, we must journey deeper into the archetypal language of the psyche as mapped by Jung. The surprising truth is that when his body finds peace, it is because his soul has found a home. This is a sacred and archetypal event. It is the moment the king finally finds a safe place to commune with his own exiled anima. In the world of Jungian psychology, the mature masculine psyche is represented by the archetype of the king. The king is the part of a man that is responsible, that builds, that protects, that navigates the external world. His realm is the world of logos, the world of logic, of structure, of competition, of doing. He spends his entire day on the battlefield of this world, wearing the heavy armor of his competence, his strength, and his performance. This armor is necessary for his survival and his success, but it is also incredibly heavy and profoundly lonely. Hidden within every king, often in a forgotten and exiled part of his own inner kingdom, lives his Anima. The Anima is his soul. It is his connection to the world of Eros, the world of feeling, of intuition, of being, of deep and soulful connection. She is the keeper of his vulnerability, his creativity, and his capacity for true intimacy. She is the quiet, beautiful, and mysterious ocean that laps at the shores of his well-ordered, solid land. A man who is disconnected from his Anima is a king who rules a barren and prosperous desert. He is successful, but he is spiritually thirsty. He is in control, but he feels a quiet, gnawing emptiness. He is a king without a queen, a land without an ocean. And so, his soul is on a constant, unconscious quest. It is not just searching for a partner. It is searching for a safe and sacred space where his Anima, his own exiled soul, can finally show her face without fear. And then, he meets you, the woman who is a sanctuary, the woman who is not a chaotic battlefield, but a peaceful and sovereign kingdom in her own right. And the moment occurs, the moment his nervous system down-regulates into that profound state of ventral vagal peace. This is not just a biological event. It is a psychological surrender. In that moment of profound safety, the king, his ego, finally feels secure enough to do something he rarely does. He takes off his heavy helmet, he puts down his sword, he lowers the drawbridge of his own heart, and he allows the Anima, his own hidden soul, to step forward. The profound stillness you witness in him is the physical manifestation of this sacred meeting. He is not being boring or passive. He is in a state of deep, non-verbal communion. His soul is, for the first time, in the same room as yours, without the heavy guard of his ego standing between them. He is not just resting his body, he is resting his soul. This is the Jungian root of the decision. The moment he unconsciously decides you are the one is the moment his soul recognizes your presence as the one, sacred and safe space on earth, where his own Anima is not only tolerated, but welcomed. He is not choosing you because you are the most exciting adventure. He is choosing you because you are the home his own soul has been searching for. It is a decision that is not made in his mind, but is recognized by his entire being as the most profound and undeniable truth he has ever felt. So we have established the what, the why, and the deep archetypal meaning of this secret, decisive moment. Now we arrive at the most important question for you, the woman who is listening to this. What is your role in all of this? How do you create the conditions for this moment to occur? This is where we must dismantle another great myth of dating. You have been taught that to attract a man, you must do things. You must be wittier, more beautiful, more interesting, more accommodating. But the great secret of creating a sanctuary is that it has nothing to do with what you do for him. It has everything to do with the state you have cultivated for yourself. You do not make a sanctuary. You become the sanctuary. The profound safety he feels in your presence is not a gift you are giving to him. It is the overflow of the safety you have so courageously cultivated within your own being. A woman cannot offer a man a peace that she does not herself possess. She creates this sacred space through the embodiment of three core principles, the three great pillars of our work together. The first is her own inner peace. This is the woman who has learned the art of radical self-attendance. She has a deep and abiding relationship with her own nervous system. She is her own safe harbor. Her inner world is not a chaotic storm of anxiety, but a calm and steady sea. A man's nervous system can feel this. It recognizes her regulated state as a source of profound stability. It is the tuning fork of peace that we have spoken of, the one that calls his own chaotic system into a state of harmony. The second is her no-agenda presence. This is the woman who has stopped seeing a man as a project to be fixed or a goal to be achieved. She is not in a relationship with his potential. She meets him where he is, as he is. In her presence, he is not being evaluated. He is not being subtly guided toward a future she has planned. This lack of an agenda is the greatest form of acceptance. It is the feeling of being able to walk into a space and not have to perform, not have to pretend, not have to be anything other than what you are. It is the feeling of profound psychological safety. The third, and most important pillar, is her unshakable self-worth. This is the woman who has healed her validation trap. She is no longer the beggar, looking for a coin of his affection to feel worthy. She is the queen, ruling from a place of her own fullness. Because she is her own source of validation, she needs nothing from him. And this is the final and most liberating ingredient of the sanctuary. His soul recognizes that he is in the presence of a woman who does not need him to be her son, because she is her own. He is free from the impossible and exhausting job of being her source of happiness. This is her secret role. The work is not external, it is internal. You do not create the moment by planning the perfect date or saying the perfect thing. You create the moment by doing the deep and often difficult work of becoming a sanctuary unto yourself. You build the magnificent, peaceful, and sovereign kingdom within. And his soul, in its desperate search for a home, will simply and inevitably recognize the beautiful, safe, and open gates of yours. The moment a man's soul decides you are the one, the moment his nervous system recognizes you as a sanctuary, is a silent, internal, and unconscious event. There are no fireworks. There is no declaration. So how then can you ever know that it has happened? The secret lies in learning to observe the subtle but undeniable echoes of this internal shift. When a great bell is struck in the center of a temple, the sound may fade, but the vibrations continue to resonate long after, and they can be felt in the very stones of the floor. The moment of decision is the striking of the bell. The changes in his behavior are the vibrations. You will not hear the decision, you must learn to feel its aftermath. There are three primary, unspoken shifts in his behavior that will reveal that this sacred internal event has taken place. First, you will notice a new quality of stillness in his presence. This is a deeper and more vulnerable version of the stillness that may have triggered the moment itself. Before, his stillness may have been a temporary down-regulation, but now it becomes his new default state when he is with you. The performance is not just paused, it is over. The actor has left the stage for good. You will notice a profound and consistent relaxation in his body. He is no longer trying to impress you with his stories or his wit. He is simply and profoundly content to just be with you. This is the difference between a soldier on a temporary ceasefire and a soldier who has returned home from the war for good. The armor is not just unbuckled, it has been taken off and stored away. Second, you will begin to hear a new word in his vocabulary. This is perhaps the most powerful and revealing of all the signs. You will begin to hear the unconscious, natural, and effortless emergence of the word we. This is not the loud, performative we of a man who is love-bombing you with grand plans for a future. It is not the we should get married and have 3 children. It is a much quieter, more casual, and infinitely more honest we. You will be talking about a movie you want to see, and he will say, "We should go see that." You will be planning your separate weekends, and he will ask, "What are we doing next weekend?" He will be telling a story to his friends about something that happened to you, and he will say, "We had the funniest thing happen to us the other way." This is a profound confession from his unconscious. It means his psyche, his deep inner self, has already moved you from the category of a separate you to the integrated category of us. His soul has already made the merger. His language is simply catching up to the new reality of his inner world. Third, you will notice a new instinctual impulse to protect your peace. This is the king, now certain of his sanctuary, beginning his sacred duty as its guardian. This is not about him being controlling or possessive. It is a series of small, often invisible acts of service to your well-being. He will begin to act as a buffer between you and the small stresses of the world. He will notice the things that cause a subtle tension in your body, and he will unconsciously begin to steer you away from them. If he knows a certain topic of conversation makes you anxious, he will gently redirect it. If he sees you are getting overwhelmed at a social gathering, he will quietly create an excuse for the two of you to leave. He is no longer just focused on his own experience with you. He has become a student of your soul. His focus shifts from "how can I impress her" to "how can I protect her peace." This is the ultimate sign that he no longer sees you as a prize to be won, but as a treasure to be cherished. These 3 shifts, when you observe them, are the undeniable echoes of the bell. They are the quiet and irrefutable proof that the silent sacred decision has been made. We began this journey in the shadow of a beautiful and powerful myth, the myth of the loud, cinematic, decisive moment. We have dismantled that myth, and in its place we have discovered a quieter and far more profound truth. We have learned that the moment a man's soul chooses you is not a thunderclap of passion. It is the quiet, biological and sacred sigh of relief of a nervous system that has finally found its home. It is not an event you must create through performance. It is a state of being you invite through your own profound peace. It is the moment his soul recognizes you as a sanctuary. And this leads us to the final and most surprising truth of all. For a lifetime, you may have been trying to make a man decide you are the one by being more exciting, more adventurous, more spectacular. But the great reframe is this: you do not make a man choose you by being more exciting. You make him choose you by becoming more peaceful. Stop trying to create the perfect, cinematic moment. That is the work of the ego, and it will only ever attract another ego. Instead, turn your focus inward. Commit to the sacred work of becoming a sanctuary unto yourself. Cultivate your own inner peace with the devotion you once gave to seeking his love. Become the woman whose own regulated nervous system is the most powerful and attractive force in the room. Become the sanctuary. Do this and you will discover that you no longer need to search for the signs of his decision, for your own inner state will have become the only sign you ever needed. You will find that the most important decisions in love are not made in the logical mind, but are recognized by the soul in the profound and beautiful language of silence.